Hey everyone, welcome to InterviewPro. In the last video, we learned how to use FormArray to render questions in the feedback form. Once we type something in these questions, it will be binded to this form. So this is how we implemented it. We used FormArray inside the form group for these questions. It takes array and this array has all the form controls. I have given an option to add 3 questions, so I have 3 form controls here. And to render this on the screen in HTML file, we have to use form array name and assign it to the key that we used to create the form array. And every control has form control name to bind the values entered in this input to the reactive form. I want to give few more options here. Instead of directly giving 3 questions and restricting the users to enter only 3 questions, I want to give an option, add question. For initially, it would be 1 question with the button add question. As the user clicks on add question, it keeps on adding the other inputs. Also, I want to give an option to delete the question. So that if user does not want to ask too many questions, he can go ahead and delete the question. Let's see how we can do that. To do that, let's add a button here. So there is going to be only one button for all the questions. As we click on it, it keeps adding the inputs. I'm adding this button outside the for loop. This is of type button. Let's add a class button hyphen small button hyphen secondary. This is going to have a text add question. Now we have this button add question. Let's add a click event. When I click on this, I want to add another input. First of all, let's remove all these controls. Now I'll have only one form control. Let me remove the extra controls. Let's add a click event here. This click event will call a method add question. Let's define it in the component.ps. To add question to form array, first we need access to the form array. We already wrote a getter here which will return the form array. Let's make use of this property, this dot questions. Since this is an array, we can add an element by making use of push function, right? So this dot questions dot push. What I want to push? I want to push a new form control with default value null. But we see an error here because this dot questions is coming as abstract control. We want to let this method know that this questions is of type form array. So let's typecast it form array. Now the error is gone. Let's check it out. We have add question. We have only one question initially. As soon as I click on add question, I see another input here. Also notice that the feedback form has another element here. Now we have only 2 nulls. If I click on add question again, we see another null added. Now let's implement the delete functionality. This delete button is going to be available for each and every input, so it has to be present inside the loop. Let me just copy paste the add question button. This is going to be button hyphen danger. The click event will be delete question. Add another class called -sm-1. We want these two input and button controls to be in a single row. So I have added a class called row, and input and button, any control inside this div, I'm giving a class called -sm. We do not want this button to be large, so I have given call -sm-1. Let's see how it looks in the screen. Let's update this text. This is not add question. We'll simply put delete. Now we say delete. Let me add margin also. Okay, now we have add question. When I click on add question, we have input, also the delete. Now when I click on this delete, I want this particular input to be deleted. If I click on the first delete, it should delete the first input. We have the click event. Let's define this function, delete question. Let me copy paste the code here. Let me remove this push method. Now we want to remove the element and we want to remove that particular input, right? So if I click on second one, we have to remove only second one, not the first one. How do we know which is the first one, which is the second one? Based on the index. We already have access to index with the I variable. I'm just passing this I variable to delete question method. In the TS, I'll put a variable here of type parameter here of type number, and we want to remove the control at that index. If I go back, click on add question, I'll click on it again. I'm clicking on the second one. First, let me just put something so that we know which input is getting deleted. I'm clicking on the second one. The second input got deleted. The first and third are there, but the second one got deleted because we are sending the index of the second input and we are making sure that only that input is getting deleted. If I click the, okay, let me add a few more controls here. Add question, add question. If I click on the delete button for the first one gets deleted, second gets deleted, all questions get deleted. You can always add conditions on when to delete and when to add a question. For example, we do not want to provide delete for the first question, like if there is only one question, right? So you can always add those conditions. But for now, I just want to explain that a form array provides an option to add or delete the form controls dynamically. So we can add the form control using a push method and we can delete the control using remove add method. So this is how you can use form array to add or delete form controls dynamically. I hope the concept is clear. If you like the content, please like, share and subscribe to InterviewPro. Thank you.